Ladies and gentlemen, this is very, very interesting. And I'm probably the only person on YouTube reporting this right now. Biden, difficult to imagine having Democratic convention as scheduled. That's translation to that is the Rosetta Stone of Democratic deception. Well, actually, that's like, you can call this channel and H.A. Goodman's other channel and my writing a Rosetta Stone of a way to decipher Democratic deception, the conniving, duplicitous, disingenuous form of communication that the Democratic Party engages in. Only I am telling you the truth. The truth is that Hillary Clinton will become nominee. This was always the case. This was always choreographed. There was never any primary. The primary had nothing to do with meritocracy. There was actually the 2016 primary was a greater example of meritocracy, and the DNC emails showed that Bernie Sanders was cheated. But here, they're postponing the primary, their primary. Why? Obviously, in part because of the crisis. But here, Biden, difficult to imagine having Democratic convention as scheduled. This is April 1st, 2020. Democrats are supposed to meet in Milwaukee in mid-July. It might be August. In August will be the 100-year anniversary, the centennial of the 19th Amendment, giving women the right to vote. Do you think they're going to go with Biden? Come on now. Hey, now. Come on, fat. Come on. You think they're going to... Come on, fat. Come on, people, now smell on your brother. We need to make the cure worse than the problem. Come on now. You know the deal. Endowed by the creator what? DJ what? You know the deal. And hey, you want to do push-ups? Come on, everybody. They're not going to go with Biden. They're not going with Biden. Okay? They're not going with Biden. Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden said he wouldn't be surprised if the Democratic convention is rescheduled due to the ongoing crisis. When asked by MSNBC's Brian Williams if he could imagine the nation's top Democrats all gathered together in one arena 104 days from now, Biden said it was difficult to do so. It's hard to envision that, Biden said. We were able to do it in the middle of the Civil War. Okay, all the way through. Okay, have Democratic and Republican conventions and primary and elections and still have public safety. And we were able to do both. But the fact is, it may have to be different. Biden has repeatedly rebuffed proposals to delay or reschedule the general election. They're going to... This is just a couple of hours ago. In Politico, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? This is just a couple of hours ago. Why is that important? Because it gives more time for Democrats to look at Biden and say, my God, we would not only lose the Electoral College. Look, they're going to lose the election with Clinton again. That's fine. It's going to be the most euphoric, most monumental, epic moment in U.S. history. Okay? Democratic Party losing again with Madam Secretary is going to be the end of a very wretched paradigm in American political life, American political history. This worship of corrupt intelligence officials, this public relations and media spin that mangles and twists and misquotes or just fabricates intent for everything Trump says. He never said bigoted people were fine people. That never happened. That was the most, malicious, vindictive, petulant spin, media spin. He never said that. In fact, he kept condemning what was taking place that weekend. It was never enough. They inject intent. But when it's, Attorney General Loretta Lynch meeting with Bill Clinton to speak about golf, Brexit, and grandchildren, don't even question what the real motive was. If Clinton deleted yoga emails, it was just yoga. Who doesn't do yoga and then delete emails afterwards? It's normal. They live in this world where, oh my God, did you see what Trump, he's not telling the truth. They literally had to write an article in the New York Times, why Clinton needs to be two-faced. They'll do it again. Everything they claim to stand for on every major topic. On every major topic, they're the antithesis of. Yet they condemn and judge. But anyway, this is another article from a couple days back that bolsters the fact that they're going to postpone the convention. When they postpone the convention, it's going to make it a lot easier for Hillary Clinton to become nominee because people are already talking about Andrew Cuomo. Have you not heard that Andrew Cuomo is America's governor, even though in January in his State of the State address, along with Gavin Newsom in February of California, and Whitmer in Michigan, and Inslee in Washington, all of these Democratic governors who were saying that, President Trump needs to step up, they were nowhere to be found. They were completely inept and incompetent. Like just 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks ago, they had their State of the State addresses, like the Governor's State of the Union type of address. Not one mention. None of these governors mentioned ventilators, masks, or anything to do with the current crisis. Why is that? Then they blame Trump. There's Pelosi says, he wasted precious time. What about the governors of the states? What about the governors of the states? The governors of these states they were nowhere to be found. They were talking about solar energy. They were talking about things that had nothing to do with the current crisis. They were in charge of protecting the people of their state. They were in charge of budgeting money for this crisis, which was only a month or 2 months away from their State of the State addresses, and they were nowhere to be found. Then Pelosi has the audacity to say, Trump wasted time when she was trying to actually remove the president. Weeks before one of the biggest calamities we've faced. They tried to remove the president. And notice something. They haven't passed Medicare for All because they're utilizing Bernie Sanders and the far left to just funnel votes back into the Democratic Party. Now, the same people are going from Medicare for All to UBI, two policies that Democrats will never, ever pass, just to funnel votes back into the Democratic Party. And 15% of Bernie voters, according to, was it Gallup? Just recently, ABC News, there was a poll, 15% of Bernie voters are voting for Trump. 15%. Okay, I think it's probably going to be about 10%. But you're looking at 85 to 90% of Bernie voters voting for Hillary Clinton. They first said Biden, but Biden's not going to be nominee. The convention is going to be pushed to probably August. That will be the anniversary of the 19th Amendment. Could you imagine? Do you want Biden? Biden, who is the worst possible ambassador for the public relations, the public relations spectacle of the 19th Amendment and how Democrats stand for the rights of women. And he's the worst possible candidate with everything, the allegations recently and everything he's going through. Just the other day, he was very bizarre. He made let's put it this way. He made this vertical hand gesture that, depending on where your mind is at, I guess would not be a very good public relations. He made this vertical hand gesture on when he was being interviewed, and the interviewer was like, "Oh my God." Anyway, it was quite bizarre. I'm not going to get into it, but then he said, "Oh, I shouldn't have moved my hands that way." It's like, oh my God. It's like, oh my God. This is hilarious. I'm going to read you this Politico article. It bolsters everything that's going on. DNC's insistence convention is on, but many Democrats aren't buying it. It's full speed ahead until a staffer yells iceberg, said one committee member who believes that time is likely coming. Okay. The Democratic National Committee, this is just a couple of days ago, insists that July convention is going forward as planned, even as Democrats across the country are increasingly skeptical it will happen. Now, they're going to postpone it. And Biden's confirmation just hours back should tell you something. Everything was a charade. This is why I obsess over this. This is why I've obsessed over this for 3 years now, since 2017. I was quoted by NPR. People want to say, oh, yeah, AJ Badman. I was quoted by NPR. The article is below. They quoted me in 538. Okay, 538 said it was their emphatic belief that Trump wouldn't be GOP nominee. I stated in 2015, and the NPR article is below. Okay, how many people have been quoted by NPR as having been right about the election when nobody on the left, okay, but virtually only a handful of people, including myself, accurately predicted the 2016 election? NPR quoted me. I said Clinton would lose swing states. She would lose the election. That NPR article is below. This is going to be the second election I've predicted, but this time around, ladies and gentlemen, absolutely nobody on the planet is saying what's actually taking place. Everything is choreographed. Everything is a charade. Everything is a theatrical performance. So if it wasn't this current crisis going on, they would have found some other way to either postpone or keep the convention, but found some miraculous way. It'll be like a phoenix rising. Oh my God, a political comeback. Ronald Reagan. When people say like, well, they don't want her. They don't have a choice. It's a political machine run by Bill and Hillary. Oh, we run it, baby. Me and my wife. Okay, Ronald Reagan ran 3 times. Madam Secretary only ran twice. And people say, oh, she'd be losing again. They don't care. You think that Clinton cares if she loses again? Do you honestly believe this? You might. I might find it very amusing, and it'll vindicate everything I've ever said because Clinton's going to run again in 2024. Look, there are 2 politicians that I love. You can quote me. I love President Trump. He's the best president of my lifetime, and I can debate anyone on that. Just look at the record. Go ask the people who have suffered for 10 years now from the failed NATO intervention that President Obama, the Nobel Peace Prize winner, engaged in. You think they think he's a great president? You're talking President Obama drank Flint water and said it was fine to drink. I mean, it's unbelievable. So, like, you talk about a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where President Trump, it's like Trump is a great president, but just look at the comparison. I'm going to go on and on. President Trump's a great president. You look at, he's reversing American foreign policy, failed interventions, all of that. He is doing a great job. We had a record-breaking economy. Thank God we did, which will help us get back. Could you imagine if this was just a lackluster economy like in 2016? They say, oh, President Obama gave him a great economy. No, he didn't. It was, the GDP was 1.6% in 2016. Okay, but anyway, the other politician I love for different reasons because I like honesty and treachery. I don't like, I used to love Bernie Sanders, but Bernie Sanders now is basically, he exists to funnel left-leaning votes back into the Democratic Party. If he really wanted to fight the 1%, he'd join the Green Party. He would join the Green Party. And that's a whole other story. But the other politician I love is Hillary Clinton, because Clinton, running again, being the nominee, okay, and then running again, like I've always stated. I never said how Clinton was going to run. I never said how many. I never said if she was going to run before or after the nomination. I said she was going to be nominee. Don't know how they're going to cheat. Don't know how their treachery you can't predict because of the media and Comey and all that. You can't predict the type of deceptive tactics, but you know it's going to be there. And I'm the only person who called it out accurately. She's going to be the nominee. When Clinton becomes nominee again, it will vindicate every single thing I've ever said about the Democratic Party and about and almost everything I've ever said about American politics since I've been on YouTube and since I started writing. So the Clinton campaign, the I'm With Her crowd, I love them. I love them because they vindicate everything I've said. And also, the megalomaniacal couple that has this quest for political influence and power, not seen since Attila the Hun. When they take hold of the Democratic Party again, officially, or where nobody can say, well, they're not the most influential people, and they don't run. People will have to say, well, yeah, they definitely run the Democratic Party, which is true. It's a political machine. When they prove that it's a political machine and that everything is choreographed and that this was all theatrical performance and a farce, yet again, it'll not only vindicate everything I've said. Media, the Democratic Party, American politics will change completely. People will respect President Trump even more. When he wins again, we'll realize people on the left are going to wish those indictments were imminent. And I'll be proven right about that eventually, too. Ladies and gentlemen, November is going to be one of the most important months in U.S. history. That's not hyperbole. Be here in November on H.A. Goodman, this channel. Tell your friends about this channel. I know that people are like, there's focus is only on that. No, I talk about a bunch of things, but I'm obsessed. I'm definitely focused on this because not only is nobody talking about this, I wrote about this in 2017. I called this in 2017. It's important. Forget about me calling it. It's just important to realize this is a theatrical performance. And people take it seriously. You shouldn't take the Democratic primary seriously because it's all an act. Give me your thoughts below. I do not have Twitter. I do not have Facebook, in large part because there's going to be so much venom, vitriol, negativity, malice. It's going to, especially, I'm a Trump supporter, thank God. On the left, it's going to be pandemonium. Pandemonium. I suggest if social media elevates your blood pressure at all, get off it. If you lasted this long to my 17-minute crowd, get off social media if it elevates your blood pressure at all. Ladies and gentlemen, subscribe to H.A. Goodman's other channel. I will have a live stream like I usually do. I do primarily live streams on this channel. And I will upload on this channel now. I usually would only upload, then I do live streams, but I'm doing live streams now primarily just because, people we're all stuck. We're all stuck at home. I'll have a live stream later today, probably around 4 p.m. Pacific or so, around then. This is an important segment. They're doing it. They're giving the nomination to Clinton slowly but surely. And it's going to be amazing to see President Trump win again. It's going to be one of the most important moments in U.S. history. And for the people who have suffered such derangement issues pertaining to Trump, here's a little message. The president that the Washington Post and the New York Times and CNN and MSNBC and the Hollywood celebrity you've never heard of or wouldn't hear about were it not for their contempt for Trump, they're going after a president that they're going after the image, the caricature of everything they don't like about Trump. President Trump, like any human being, like any president, has very good points, some bad points, whatever. He's a human being. But when they go after Trump in the manner they do, they're not going after the president that signed the First Step Act. A president that's reversing failed foreign policy endeavors, the failed foreign policy of Bush and President Obama. They're not going after the president that has a 60% approval rating, among American voters pertaining to his handling of the crisis. They're going after a fabrication. When Trump wins again, that fabrication, their egos, their maniacal, rabid contempt, who knows what happens? Give me your thoughts below.